start.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you so much, Fatima, for your very good recitation. And I hope that you all must be fine and happy. This is your teacher, Gregory, gives you a enthralling welcome into another session of grade 9th. And the topic that we have opted today to talk about is, as you guys can see on your screens, it is this. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about essay writing. And here we have this. First of all, I would like to ask you all that what do you think is essay writing is? Essay writing, there are a lot of misconceptions about things. First of all, the first misconception, which is very much about this, is the pronunciation for the word. Essay, the word is essay. Generally, there are two syllables, essay. One S is ESS and then say, like we say, hey, or I would like to say. So essay, that's the sound of this. S-A-Y would be pronounced as say, and then we have S, essay. Okay, let's move towards the other one. First of all, what is an essay? The first question arises in your mind. Essay. An essay is a piece of writing that usually has 5 or more paragraphs. What has been written over here? An essay is a piece of writing that usually has 5 or more paragraphs. Generally, when I ask students what is an essay, they answer it like essay is essay. It's not like it's a piece of writing which has been written about a particular topic, particularly that is known as essay in general. An essay is a piece of writing that usually has 5 or more paragraphs. An essay is written about one topic that has several main points. The main points are introduced in an introductory paragraph and supported in body paragraph. Then the conclusion is the last paragraph, obviously. So what is an essay? Essay is a piece of writing that usually has 5 or more paragraphs. Like there could be, depending upon the length of the essay. It is not necessary that you have to write 5 paragraphs, but that is a standardized method. The standard method is at least one has 5 paragraphs when one is writing a paragraph, I would say. But the length of the essay depends upon, or the number of paragraphs of the essay depend upon the length of the essay. Let me give you an instance that when a student is writing an essay on cow or my family when he was a grade 2 student or grade 3 student, obviously he won't write 5 or more paragraphs. He would wrap it up within 2 or 3 paragraphs, depending upon. But in a proper essay, there must be at least 3 paragraphs. There could be more than that. The number could be varied, but at least there must be 3 paragraphs. So kindly note it down that the standardized method of an essay, the number of paragraphs must be 5, but at least there must be 3. Without 3 paragraphs, an essay will not be considered. And let me give an instance that when one is writing an essay on CSS examination and the essay's length is actually measured, the length of the essay is measured via words, number of words. So let's suppose he has been given a topic to write an essay of about 1,500 to 2,000 words. So obviously, because the range has been extended dramatically, the number of paragraphs will be increased. Not only the number of paragraphs will be increased, but the content of each paragraph will be doubled, obviously, when you're writing. But the essay that you've been asked to write in your 9th and 10th examination is based upon 100 to 120 words. But I would ask you to write it from 150 to 180 words. When I will tell you that what is it and what's the criteria of measuring this. So 150 and 180, from the range 150 to 180 is not that much. If I would ask you, I would do let you know how to write that. But for now, I told you what is an essay, and I told you that is a piece of writing that usually have 5 or more paragraphs, and as it's written about one topic that has several main points. Like if I gave you to write about Qaeda-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, if I gave you to write about COVID-19. So what you're going to do, it's a piece of writing which has been written about a particular topic. Got it? It's a particular type of writing which has been written about a particular topic. And you'll try to elaborate certain point that you want to write. What's the purpose of writing an essay? I would come to that. But I told you over here that there are 5 paragraphs in standardized way, but there could be at least 3 paragraphs. Without 3, the essay will not be accepted. Okay, I would come to this like parts of an essay. Parts of an essay: introduction, conclusion, body paragraph. I would come to it. Uh, there are 3 basic parts of an essay if I would generally break it. As when I taught you about application, when we have discussed that, I told you that it also have 3 parts. The first one was header, the second was body, and the third was footer. In the same way, each and every essay, when you're talking about an essay consisting of 30 words to 3,000 words, the essay would be broken into 3 parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. In introduction, the topic has been introduced. In the body paragraph, the main content has been written. And in conclusion, we conclude whatever we have written above. Okay, first of all, we are going to talk about this. Okay, so we in this we are going to talk about parts of an essay. Let's talk about an introduction. An introductory paragraph is the first paragraph in an essay. It contains 2 parts. Now I'm going to break these 3 parts into different paragraphs. That, as I told you, that an essay has 3 parts. Then we are going to talk about how many paragraphs there must be. The first paragraph will be introductory paragraph. The second, third, and fourth will be body paragraph, and the 5th will be conclusion. Okay. So let's talk about what has to be written in an introductory paragraph. In the first paragraph in an essay, it contains 2 parts: general statements, a few sentences about your subject that capture the attention of your reader, and a thesis statement, 1 sentence that tells your reader the main points of your topic and states the overall plan of your essay. This is supposed to be one of the most important things, I would say. I have given you an instance over here. What is a general statement? Generally, let's talk about when you're talking about a topic like smartphone or mobile phone. You will not start with generally what the students do, that they start with smartphone is very good gadget. It has been invented this and that. It was invented in that year, and then people have started taking it. It took all the world like a storm, and now each of us has a gadget or something like that. No, you will not start it. You will start with general things. Like if you're talking about an invention of science, you will not start it with directly with the invention like mobile phone, television, or anything else. You will go with what? Science. Science has changed the world dramatically, and in last century, and in last past 2 decades, we've seen a dramatic change that has revolutionized the world. And science has revolutionized the world, and it is revolutioning these days as well. In last 2 decades, there are numerous number of inventions which have given us support, benefit, as well as ease. Amongst all of these inventions, smartphone is said to be the greatest invention. I did not start with the smartphone. I gave it a background, a general statement in which I talked about a general thing. I had tried to portray a sketch that it's talking about in general. When I'm talking about medicines, I'll start with that how medicine gives when one gets ill, how medicines give benefit to it. That's suppose if I'm talking about Panadol, I won't start with Panadol or paracetamol, the formula that what is this and when it was invented or something like that. I would come up to ailment, illness, and then come up to its a cure, and then I would come to medicines. Then I would start writing about that. So in general statements, we do not write like in introductory paragraph. We do not start directly with our topic, but we give it a support, a general statement, as I told you over here. You can see a few sentences about your subject. Generally, when you're talking about your levels essay, you have to write at least 5 sentences in introductory paragraph. There could be more depending upon the length of the essay, as I told you, and the topic that you are covering. But if I am talking about, if I would like to talk about that, the essay that come in your examination, I would like to say that there must be at least 5 sentences. There could be 7 or 8. But now, how would you start it? 1 or 2? First sentence, that is called kicking sentence, or commencing statement or beginning a statement. And you begin your words, as I told you that science has invented multiple things or something like that. Then you'll give 1 or 2 supportive sentences. Then you will write about the thesis statement. This is thesis statement. Going to a new school can be exciting, but for international students, the years of education in a different country can be difficult and tumultuous. When I first arrived in the US to attend a university, I was overwhelmed and confused by everything new. Fortunately, that was whatever has been highlighted with the sky blue color is actually the general statement. And whatever has been highlighted with this color, the other one, is the thesis statement, in which we are going to talk about what is our topic. If I talk in general about science, that's not my topic. My topic was a smartphone. So I'd come to that. Fortunately, I met 3 very special friends who made a positive impact on my life during those years and helped me survive in the trials of being a foreigner in a completely different educational system like that. So that's, you can have an idea that what could be the topic. There could be a topic of friends or the survival of a foreigner student in a new education system or something like that. So you give an idea, the writer give an idea to the reader in the thesis statement that what is actually, what this essay is going to be all about. As I told you, the smartphone is something like that. And we are going to talk about this or that. Fine. So I think you all have gotten it. Then we have the body paragraph. What is the body paragraph? Body paragraphs. The body consists of 1 or more paragraphs following the introduction. Just after the introductory paragraph, introduction, the body paragraphs come. And we will not write anything about the topic that we are going to talk about in introduction, in introductory paragraph. Kindly consider it. Most of the students do this blunder, that whenever they start an essay, they always start with introduction, and introduction, they write approximately the history about the topic. In introductory paragraph, you will not write anything about the topic, but just introduce the topic. Fine. It's something like when a host calls someone, he will not talk about each and everything, but he just give a sort of introduction that who is a guest today. Something like that. Then in body paragraphs, depending upon the length of the essay, you will make number of body paragraphs. If the length of the essay is like 500 words, like in O levels, the questions in double 1, 2, 3, the question has been asked to the students is like write an essay or composition from 350 to 500 words. Obviously, the number of paragraphs are more than this. You are supposed to write in between the range of 150 to 180. So there are 2 ways the number of paragraphs would be increased, and the content of each paragraph would be increased. So I would prefer you that you are not supposed to cut down, I would say, the number of paragraphs, but cut down the content of each paragraph. Like as I told you when I have taught you that uh, each and every word has a meaning, and when we combine a lot of words, it gives an idea or a thought, it becomes sentence. So every word has a meaning, every sentence has a message, and every paragraph has a point. Let's suppose when we are talking about smartphone, so in the very first paragraph we'll talk about a brief history of a smartphone. In the second paragraph, that how has it revolutionized the world. In the third paragraph, how it what's its I would say use of the of these days, and in the end what is my point of view about that. So in each paragraph I'm talking about smartphone, but in each paragraph I have talked about different things. History, when I'm talking about history, I will not talk about present. In the paragraph of history, I will not write about the present things. And in the paragraph of its praise, I will not talk about its history or its present state. But if I'm talking about its present state, I will not talk about its history, or I will not praise it in that paragraph. So each paragraph must be looking different from the other whenever we are writing an essay. So these are the things that students do not consider when they write. Generally, what happen in our system that students try to cram and memorize the essays rather than learning it how to write. Even I've taught to the students of graduation, they even don't know that how to write an essay. They don't know the components. They don't know what is the criteria, what is the rule and regulation that could be followed, what are the tricks to be done. They do not know it. So the number of paragraphs, I would say that try to keep them five at least in the length, in the essay of 150 to 180 words. But you can you could cut down the content of each essay. Like if I'm talking about an essay writing of about 1,000 to 150 words, I would write not a brief history, but a detailed history. I would talk about etymology. I would talk about from where it was started, from each and everything. And when I'm talking about praise, and when I'm talking about present situation, so I'll not only cover up this the general points, but I will cover up that how it has revolutionized the world and how it has been affected in Pakistan and all that. So I'll be covering number of more number of points, and the content will be extended obviously. So I'll be able to cope up with the cope up or meet to the need. That is actually 1,000 to 1,500 words. If I will not write more in each paragraph, I will not be able to meet the need. That's what I would like to say. So each paragraph supports the main idea of your essay by breaking it down into smaller ideas or subtopics. Each body paragraph consists of a topic sentence and several supporting sentences. What are topic sentences? Let's suppose the history of the essay or the history of the smartphone is no way back, but it dates back to approximately 1.5 decade when Steve Jobs from Apple, from the company of Apple, has introduced a revolutionary gadget that was people came to know it as iPhone, and it's been surviving here. Then a tsunami came over these smartphones, and all other companies that came into the market, and they've started making. Now we have in Pakistan we have mobile phones from the range of 15,000 to 2 lakh. I will not write about this. Why? Because this is the present thing. I'm talking about the history. That's what usually students do comment. A conclusion sentence draws the paragraphs together. Okay, here are some examples of this. Example body paragraph, topic sentence. One of the first people I met was Joe Frieda. So I'm going to talk about Joe Frieda. Okay, I'm talking about the people or friends that I met in a foreign university. That was my topic, and I'm going to write about that. I first met Joe standing in a line at the bookstore. I was having a difficult time finding the book in this paragraph. The writer is talking about a friend, Joe Frieda, and he or she is writing about that how he met and all that. I was having a difficult time finding the books for the English classes. I was taking the first semester here. Not only helped me find my books, but he also gave me some good advice on where to get tutorial help on campus and where I could find some good restaurants. We've become better friends since then, and he has been so helpful in answering any questions I have about going to school in the US and about American culture. If I hadn't met Joe that day I might still be looking for the right books for my classes. Like we'll write a conclusion sentence and a topic sentence in each paragraph. Okay? Supporting sentence. So that's what the body paragraph is. In general in essay we have introduction and conclusion, but in each paragraph there will be a topic sentence and a concluding sentence, and this is the whole supporting sentence in the myths that what we've talked about. But supporting sentence is the main thing that we are going to talk about in this body paragraph. Then we have conclusion, parts of an essay. In the conclusion paragraph is the last paragraph in the essay. It completes the essay by summarizing or repeating the most important ideas. The conclusions can also include an opinion, a prediction, or a solution to a problem. Let me give an instance. You're writing an argumentative paragraph. Let's suppose you've talked about the merits and demerits of mobile phone or gaming. In the very first paragraph, you've introduced a topic and then you gave a brief history about that. And in the other paragraph, in the third paragraph, you would write about the benefits of gaming. In the fourth paragraph, you'll write about the cons of, I would say, gaming, and in the end, you'll conclude your idea that whether you are supporting it or not. Gaming is a fun thing for everyone if it is taking as a fun. But overdosage of anything could harm you, if whether it's a good thing or not. So it's the same phenomena applies over here in the gaming, that if you are taking it too long to, or if you're spending much time in gaming, it would harm your studies and all that stuff like that. So what I told you about, we've talked about parts of an essay, we've talked about introduction. An introduction, we've talked about general statement and thesis statement. We've talked about body paragraph. There are a number of paragraphs, as I told you. Then let's talk about this. And in this, I've told you that in each paragraph, whether you're writing 10 paragraphs, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, or at least one body paragraph. I'm talking about body paragraph in certain. Whether you're writing 10 body paragraphs, 3 body paragraphs, or one at least body paragraph, you're supposed to start with a topic sentence, end it with a concluding sentence. I'm not talking about concluding paragraph, concluding sentence. And in the midst, the supporting sentence would come. Then this happens. I told you this conclusion. There is a sample of conclusion. I told you that what comes in conclusion, it completes the essay by summarizing or repeating the most important ideas. Whatever you've talked about above, and let's suppose I have written a 3 body paragraph and an introductory paragraph. So whatever I've written in this 3 body paragraph, I would try to come up with the main idea, main course of what I've talked about, and then I would summarize it. The conclusion can also include an opinion about a prediction or a solution to a problem. If you're writing an essay on traffic problems of Karachi, so you will not only write about the problems. In the end, you will, in the conclusion, you will tell some solutions, the remedies of that. Then we have this, the significance of the kindness, summary of the main ideas. That has been highlighted from the sky blue color. The significance of the kindness that these 3 people showed me and the impact that it has made on my life during my experience as an international student at State University cannot be underestimated. He has given about the general things like the significance of kindness, people showed the impact and experience and all that. I will never forget their friendship and will remember the example of kindness to me whenever I encounter other foreigners in my own country like that. He had promised himself to do the same that he had been treated as. Like we had to write about opinion, prediction, solution, or a problem. What is it? Is it a solution? I will never forget their friendship. No. Is it a solution? It is not. Is it in a prediction? It is not. It's not a prediction. Neither is a prediction nor a solution. It is a point of view. It is an opinion about what he has been treated over here, like the promise or resolution you would call. Now, you all must have eaten burgers in your life. I'm going to tell you the phenomena of essay via a hamburger. That is known as the hamburger method or hamburger technique. essays like sandwiches or burgers are divided into different, like the very first part, that is the upper part of the bread. Let's suppose you all have seen that we actually cut it down, the bread of the burger. When you've seen the burger has been made, or whenever you've had a burger, there are two different parts: the upper part of the bread and the lower part, uh, the top and the bottom part of burger consists of this bread part. So the upper bread could be called the introduction, and the lower bread could be called the conclusion, which means the purpose of the bread is actually to support the ingredient in the midst. The main taste, which gives you a never ending, I would say, experience, is actually whatever has been included as an ingredient, because everywhere wherever you eat the burger, the bread will be the same approximately. So the bread is actually only the support to the burger, and what makes it tastier, what gives it taste, is actually the content or the ingredients which has been added to make it tastier. So that's the same phenomena which applies in this essay writing. The very upper part is known as the introduction, supportive, obviously, and conclusion supports the bottom bun and the top bun. And in the midst, it depends upon, like paragraph 2, 3, and 4, like three body paragraphs are like three layers. Okay, if I would ask you to write an essay, like consider it a burger. I would ask you to make a burger. What would you do? You would cut it down and would start making it. Cut down the bread and start making it. Consider it that usually what the students do, that they start the essay, they write introductory paragraph quite short. But in the very first body paragraph, what do? They extend it extremely, and then when he came to know that they've written very much, what do? They do not divide. They cut down the other two body paragraphs and they conclude it. So what happens over here, that I would say um, uh, uh, the content has not been divided properly. I would say that the very first paragraph was written quite long and was prolonged, and the second, third, and fourth paragraph was cut down. So what happens is something like, it's like a burger, that when you add one ingredient more than the other, like you have added three ingredients. Let's suppose you've added cheese, and you have added ketchup, and you've added some patties. So what you did, you've added patties, quite thinner patties, and you've added quite a smaller quantity of the cheese. But what you've done, you've added more ketchup on that. So the whole burger will be ketchup oriented. The whole taste of the burger will be ketchup oriented. Or if you would add more cheese on that, it would be cheesy, like that. So it depends upon, whenever you're writing, there must be a balanced number of paragraphs whenever you're writing. So when the ingredients will be balanced, the taste of the burger will be really good. Like in each and every bite, the eater will love to have all these things, all these ingredients. I would say taste of all these three ingredients, which would be loved by him. And if I would ask you, like, if you want to make your burger good, what would you do? You would add more, one ingredient more and more. By this, you will not be able to make your burger very well. So this happens with a paragraph. If you are not adding paragraphs, but enhancing the content of the paragraph, let's suppose you have written only three paragraphs, or three paragraph, introductory, body, and conclusive paragraph, and you have written one paragraph very long, so it makes it boring. The reader will not enjoy it. But instead, you will cut down the points and make them in paragraphs. Like you will add tomatoes and sausages and cucumber and patties and other things, and layer of this and that. So the more number of ingredients would be there, the more tastier the burger will be. This happens the same with the number of paragraphs. The more number of paragraphs you'll add, the more number of, I would say, more number of ideas will be included, because as I told you that each paragraph has a topic. So the more number of topics will be covered over here. You will talk about history, positive sides, negative sides, opinion about others, present situation, old situation, and all that. When you write the paragraph or the essay in this manner, I would guarantee you that your essay would be really very good. Overview of an essay, let's talk about introduction, that is it, conclusion, then body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3. Introduction, we have general statement and information about the topic. Thesis statement, statements, list the main ideas in the essay. Body paragraph supports the main ideas of the thesis statement. Begin with topic, sentences, conclusion. Brief summary of main points of an essay. The end, I hope that you all have learned it. Now I'm going to ask you a few questions if you would like to answer me.